In a pretty volatile 24 hours, lots of people are now telling us the market's dead, we're going to zero, we missed the top. Well, guess what? That's not true. We are setting up, in my opinion, for still the biggest bull run we are yet to experience. And there is a number of reasons why. You've got to follow what the money is doing. And we're seeing big news around Grayscale, massive Circle announcement, and some huge public companies going all in on crypto, and for a very good reason. Want to break all of that down in this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So like I said, there isn't a day goes by without hearing about another company acquiring either more Bitcoin or making their first purchase, whether it's Metaplanet, whether it's Michael Saylor's strategy, or a brand new company coming to the fore. We are seeing public companies buying Bitcoin like crazy, and they actually are buying more Bitcoin than ETFs in the third quarter in a row. So we know that this whole adoption narrative around BTC is driving people to actually go and buy Bitcoin as opposed to buying those ETFs. I'm going to talk about them in just a minute, but we actually saw the increase of Bitcoin by 18% on these companies' balance sheet, and this is in line with an 8% increase on those Bitcoin ETFs. The massive market segmentation of leveraged Bitcoin equities with different company profiles also offering a diverse reward profile is very much aligning to institutional buying versus retail buying. The rush for these public companies of increasing shareholder value and adopting a Bitcoin treasury is absolutely happening right now, and it's happening in more companies than we are yet to know. We've gone from 1 company to 10 companies to over 100 companies now buying into Bitcoin, and it isn't just stopping there. We are seeing further moves on ETFs, whether that be AVAX, whether that be Solana, XRP, or the continuation of those Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. We are now seeing that Grayscale's GDLC fund gains an ETF status following that SEC approval. So we're seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ADA all under the same ETF rule from another Grayscale trust. And what do Grayscale have? An XRP trust, and many, many others. Investors can now access diversified crypto exposure via the New York Stock Exchange. That's a big deal. This is on the back, by the way, of many applications for those ETF approvals, whether that be XRP, whether that be Cardano, whether that be Solana. We're seeing huge moves now in the ETF market as capital seems to just continue to flow in. Take a look at Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, over 1,044 Bitcoin bought by the iShares Bitcoin Trust, 621 here with Fidelity, 700 at ARK21, even the Grayscale Mini buying 168 Bitcoin with a total volume of $2.91 billion on those ETFs. And it doesn't stop there. If you haven't seen my Ethereum video that I dropped yesterday talking about what that looks like, highly recommend checking it out. But just already $10 million on the ETH Grayscale, 31 million yesterday, $77 million at the back end of last week. Institutional money is here, and it is buying at a massive, massive rate. We're also getting things like Circle announcing a massive gateway, meaning that you no longer have to bridge across multiple chains. Guess why that's good news? It means huge companies and institutions can buy even more cryptocurrency using the same name. And the fact here is Circle obviously launching that IPO gives them access under a regulated framework to go and buy as much cryptocurrency as you want. But that's not all. There is even more crazy things going on. ETFs are absolutely skyrocketing. I think we'll get a new ETF application for an XRP one, but that's for a different video. We're seeing mass adoption, companies buying Bitcoin like crazy people, and those ETFs are absolutely skyrocketing. Well, the question now is why? Why are people so bullish on ETFs, and what is going to happen next? Well, guess what? In a complete 180, the SEC is considering fast tracking crypto ETFs. This is when you know there is crazy amounts of money over here. The Securities and Exchange Commission is working with US exchanges and generic listing framework for a token-based exchange-traded fund that could eliminate the need for issuers to file individual rule requests or filing those 19B4 forms. This changes the game. If now you want to come and launch a Solana ETF, an AVAX ETF, you no longer have to fill in a form. You basically just have to prove that you can run it with capital that supports it, and you've got investors that want to come and do it. We're seeing companies getting even more leveraged when they want to come into cryptocurrency. The absolute modern day bull run is on, and it's on specifically for cryptocurrency. And even the SEC, like before, is not going to stand in their way. Gone are the tyrant days of Gary Gensler. We are now looking at a very pro-innovation SEC, which means we are going to see pro-innovation when it comes to the cryptocurrency markets. Now, you could argue and say, well, hold on a minute, 2-bit. Yesterday's price was rubbish. Today's price, no better. Bitcoin's not doing anything. The reality is we're still very much in an uptrend here on the weekly chart and holding up a decent price level around that 105,860. Yes, we have the Trump big beautiful bill, and that full impact on cryptocurrency we're not going to see just yet. We also have the T word, which no one likes to talk about, tariffs. That big announcement with Trump coming July 6th. We're going to have to wait and see how all that plays out. But what I do know is every time the word tariff is mentioned, the market just kind of shrugs it off. Yes, we've seen Bitcoin drop about 1.5%, but we were seeing 6, 7, maybe even 8%. No longer is that to be the case. So in my opinion, we are setting up for one of the biggest bull runs in history. You've got companies buying Bitcoin like never before on the back of long-term holders continuing to hold, and in fact, accumulating at the rate of over 800,000 Bitcoin every single month. This, for me, is setting up to be a monumental run. The question for everybody is, does it end in 2025 or do we start 2026 in the 5-year bull market cycle? Very interesting to think about. We'll be breaking it all down for you, as well as how you can maximize your profits in this market. So do me a favor, check out all the links in the description, hit that like and subscribe button, and come and join our one-off community, the legends that are. And until next time, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.